say what you wanna say. Don't be a fraud, King Dray, big pick, man. Against the odds, players play from May to May. Check out the pod. King Dray, Mack, and Big Pick. King Dray, Mack, and Big Pick. King Dray, Mack, and Big Pick. King Dray, Mack, and Big Pick.
What's up, man? I'm the King Dray, Mack.
Just a Big Pick.
Big Pick, what it do, boy? We about to go and steer off into the country club setting, man. What you think about that?
Man, I'm ready, man. I got a lot of opinions on a lot of stuff that's going on.
Man, me too, man. And in particular, we're gonna talk about Djokovic. We're gonna talk about Federer. We're gonna talk about Nadal. Now, for all you guys that don't know who we're talking about, those aren't football players, not basketball players or boxers. Those are tennis players. And they happen to be three of the greatest tennis players of all time. And they're all playing at the same time. 20 Grand Slam titles amongst the three. 60 in total. So 60 of the last 72 Grand Slams have been played. They've won 60 of them. So this is incredible. This would be like having Joe Montana, and you got Dan Marino, you got Elway, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Breeze, you got Brady and Mahomes, just like a all-star squad all playing at the same time, and all of them reaching their peaks around the same time with each other. So this is incredible to see and to witness. And I know everybody is not like big men's tennis fans, but for me, I've appreciated this game for a very long time. And Big Pick, I know you have too. Appreciated this game. You've probably been watching as long as I've been watching the McEnroes of the world, Yvonne Lindels, the Borgs, the Agassiz, the Sampras of the world. But what I want to do with you is let me start with, who is your favorite tennis player of all time?
It's crazy. I used to like Lindo, and I used to go back and forth with Lindo and Agassi. Well, Lindo, I don't know why I like Lindo, man. He was a hell of a competitor, man, and he can play, man. I like Lindo a lot.
Yeah, I like Lindo too. Lindo was quiet, but he would be out there getting it done, man.
Yes. And Andre Agassi, man, he had flair, he had style, and he would win. You know what I mean?
Right.
He didn't win all the Grand Slams, but hey,
got 8 of them. I think he got 8 of them.
Right. He came in with some big moments, and he always had a different look about himself. He went against the grain, basically.
He did, straight out of Vegas too.
Yes.
Lives in Vegas.
Went against the grain, and hey, that fool played hard, man. He played hard every match. That's what I liked about those guys. You knew every time they got on that court, man, they were serious. It was about business, and it wasn't it wasn't as much fanfare as it is now. Even though it was a lot of fans then, but man, those guys meant business. They wasn't getting paid as much as these guys getting paid now, but those guys were serious.
They were serious about it, man. I was a McEnroe fan. I really liked McEnroe. I liked his antics out there. I liked that he was a brat, crier, always crying over calls. I don't know why I like that when I think back on it, but back when I was a kid, I thought that was cool. Like, damn, this is a country club sport, and we got like the actual living, breathing personification of a country club kid, like a asshole out here playing. But it was cool the way he was doing it because it was fun. It just brought something different to a game that was usually very quiet, very well kept, and just kind of one of those etiquette type games. So I really was a follower and like to see McEnroe play. I really like to see him play Connors. Connors was one of my favorite players out there, and I did like to see Bjork play. But I asked you, and I just said my favorite players to get to a player who kind of bridged the old school players to the new school, and that was Pete Sampras. Pete Sampras, for all you guys that don't know, was the all-time major title winner for a long time. He won 14 majors. Incredible serve. The dude had an incredible serve game. You know what I mean? It was like, man, when it came off his racket, it was just like a different level between him and all the other players that we just named. He set himself apart. So I thought that it could get no better than Pete Sampras. What's your opinion on Pete Sampras, Big Pick?
See, I thought Pete Sampras, I thought he was great. Only thing is, I thought he was limited. I really did. I thought he was limited. I thought he couldn't play the French.
Man.
Like these guys, like Federer or Djokovic or Nadal. He could play that U.S. Open. He could play that Wimbledon, and he's gonna kill you. But I didn't think he was as good of a French player as why I didn't put him as like my top. But when he got 14 majors, it's hard to deny him. You know what I mean? Because at that time, we didn't even think anybody would catch him, at the time. But then we start seeing Federer, we start seeing winning here, winning there. But I wasn't for sure he was going to get to 14. And
yeah.
To see where he became this icon, and then see Nadal, and then see Djokovic, it's an incredible thing when you didn't never even know anybody that was going to get 14 or get past Sampras. Now you got 3.
Got 3. Like Sampras to me, man, and I don't take anything away from people who can't win the French. Like I don't. And the reason why is because I bet anybody that's listening to this right now, I'm going to go ahead and go out on that limb. Nobody's ever played on clay before. Now, for those out there that don't understand what I'm saying, is like they put like clay on the ground while you're playing tennis. So every time you run and hit the ball, you slide. So you just, every time they hit the ball, they pop, and then they slide. And it's like they're on skates out there. So what that does is it takes away the advantage that hard court players have. And those hardcore players are those that hit the ball really hard, like a Pete Sampras. He hit the ball really hard and forced you to go run after the ball, and he tired you out. And, he make those shots that are powerful, and he had some finesse game about him. But the actual French, the Roland Garros, man, that's a different level of the game, because it nullifies the speed that you have on your end. It makes you have to be more of a shot maker. So you got to be able to make shots and not just overpower your opponent. So I don't take much away from him from that one, eluding him. He got his 14. I thought that, at the end of the day, he was going to be the greatest. But then, like you said, on came Federer in around 2000. I think it was like 2003 or 4, where Federer came in and started winning championships. Wimbledon, winning the U.S. Open, the Australian. He was putting them in the bank, man. And I'm telling you, back in the early 2000s, that's all I would hear, because I'm peeping game on tennis. I'm listening, and people are just like, man, this is the most elegant player that we've seen. Just so much finesse, just so much grace out there. They're using words like that. Like he's a dancer. And shot maker, hitting it behind his back, getting commercials, selling watches, and I'm like, okay, Sampras, you in the dirt, man. You know what I mean? You're in the dirt now. This dude, Federer, is the end all, be all. Then here comes Nadal. Tell the people about Nadal a little bit, Big Pick.
Man, Nadal he's probably the greatest lefty ever. He is the greatest lefty that ever hit the court. And it's like McEnroe's, Connors. There's plenty of them that hit the court, but there's never been one like Nadal. He demands respect when he gets on that court, boy, and he has power. That backhand is nice, but that forehand, you mess with that forehand, it's like a missile. Man, when he hit that forehand coming back across that court, it's like a heat missile, man, just coming at you. And I just like the way he hits the ball so hard, but he places it. He
Shot maker
it on them corners, man. He paints them corners, man. He paints them. And if you better get ready to run. If you playing against Nadal, you better get ready to run that day because
better have your track shoes.
You better be having your best track shoes on, especially on that clay. He might tear somebody's hamstring up.
The king of the clay. King of the clay.
Yes.
Like I think his record is like 105-3, something like that on the clay all time. He's only lost 3 times on the clay. So the majority of his wins in majors have been on that clay. That's incredible, man. I mean, it's like you said, he is a shot maker, very powerful player, a lefty. So that's awkward as is when right-handed players just see a lefty on the other side of the net. It's like, oh, damn, okay. The ball is going to spin differently. It's going to come off the racket a little bit differently. And you got this man who's very athletic, very strong, very tenacious, and he's trying to push you all around the court. He does that backhand, that two-hand backhand. You know, some people do that little leisurely one-hand backhand. He's doing that two-hand powerful placement shot that like you said, banking right in the corners. Boop. You know what I mean? Just killing you. And it's a war of attrition out there in tennis, man. They're playing 3-hour, 4-hour games sometimes. And he's a monster. He's a monster out there. So he's an incredible player. And then we can't forget about Djokovic. Like the Joker came at a time when Federer was doing his thing, and like I said, everybody was glorifying Federer for all the things that he did on the court. Probably, to me, the best finesse shot maker that I've seen play, and I don't think that's arguable. He got 20 major wins, and then, like you said, Big Pick, Nadal, the most powerful guy that I've seen out there playing. But Djokovic is like a mixture between both of them.
Oh man. He is, man. He's incredible. The thing about it is, I think he's still got a lot left.
He does.
He's still got a lot left. He might get to 23, 24.
I don't think you giving him enough credit by just 23, 24.
No,
I don't think you
24. That's still. Dude, that's still almost 4 more. That's not an easy feat.
I think he's gonna end with 27.
Ooh.
I think he's got 4 more he's got 3 more high level competitive seasons left. That gives him 12 majors, and that's winning a little bit more than half of 12.
Oh man. That's a lot.
I think he can do it, man. I think he can do it. He's determined. He's determined to do it. I don't think that Nadal and I don't think that Federer is going to be his competition. He's fighting against the young boys now. You know, right. Federer is he's kind of on the senior tour. He's 39 years old. He's got his 20 and he's going to go down how he's going to go down. Nadal suffered some injuries back in his day. He still got it, especially in the French, but on some of the other surfaces like the Australian Open or Wimbledon, I don't think he beats Djokovic on those surfaces. Now, you got some up-and-comers that are biting on Djokovic's heels right now. So, and when I look at the 3 competitively, the big 3, Djokovic versus Federer, head-to-head, do you know who has won more between those 2?
I think it's Djokovic, if I'm not mistaken.
You're absolutely right. And then Djokovic versus Nadal. Do you know who's won more in that matchup? Djokovic. So he's no joke. He's no joke.
He's literally the GOAT right now. He got a chance to win all 4 majors this year.
Yeah.
He is literally the GOAT. He's my favorite for the next one. For the next next championship. He's my favorite. I mean, who else would you pick? You know, he's hot right now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's hot.
So he's on a roll right now. He's definitely on a roll right now. So I give him the next major, and then I give him 3 more. So 23, 24 is.
Okay. I mean, and that's a lot.
Nadal gonna sneak back in. He gonna get one more French. Believe me.
Yeah.
If that ends up being one of those years where that's the only major that he plays, he's gonna get one more because that is his place. He's the king of the clay.
He is.
Before he goes out, he has to get one more for himself and for the people.
Yeah, he will, and that's why I said Joker is gonna win 7 of 12. I think, like you said, Nadal's gonna sneak in and get one. Federer, it's gonna be a long shot for him to get one. Now, Federer, I think his back got broke, not literally, but I think he got his back broke against Djokovic in 2019 in Wimbledon. They played one of the most epic finals that I'd ever seen. They played 5 sets, and then that last set went to 12. They played to 12. They played 4.5 hours, and Federer had him on the ropes, double break points, the whole thing, had his back against the wall, and Djokovic still came out and won. If Federer was going to win one, it would have been there. So I think Federer is pretty much going to be stuck on 20. I think Nadal probably has at least 1, but possibly 2 Frenches left in him. So he'll probably finish with 22. And I think that the Joker will win the Australian. He'll win Wimbledon, and he'll win the U.S. Open. So that's 23. Then he'll come back, and he'll probably win 2 the next year. So that'd be 25. And then he'll sporadically over to that 3-year, 4-year range, he'll sneak 2 in, and then he's probably gonna get up out of there. So I think he's gonna end with a minimum of 25, maximum 27.
Oh man, that would be some feat right there. You just think about that in our day, from watching Connor, McEnroe, Noah, Lindo, Boris Becker that we didn't even name, Boris Becker, and to Sampras, and we thought Sampras was great at 14, and you're telling me the Joker is almost going to double what Sampras did with 27. You know how big of a feat that would be?
Hey, and let's not forget 27 in a time where he had some of the other potential GOATs, the greatest of all times. Like we said, this is Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron all playing at their peaks at the same time. Damn near.
And he coming out victorious.
He coming out victorious, man. That is crazy to me. That's where people don't appreciate tennis like that, because it's one of them sports, man. It's, I don't know. Like when we were growing up, you talk to your girl and she's like, "Where you going?" And you're like, "I'm getting ready to go play some tennis." I think that was a little different back when we were young. It'd be like, well, "I'm going to play some basketball. I'm going to play football." Tennis, even your girl be scratching her head like, "Tennis? You're going over some girl house. Quit lying."
Right.
You ain't going to play no tennis, man. Get out of here, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those sports, but I've always appreciated it, man. I like the strategy of it. It's a lot of strategy in tennis. It's not just hitting the ball as hard as you can. It's taking that serve, and then that volley comes, and then you're placing that person. You're placing that person. You're running them around the court. You're bringing them up on shots to the net. You're sending them back to the baseline, and you picking your shots, man. So it's a chess game, a high speed chess game that's happening out there, and it's appreciated by me,
Yeah, I feel the same way. People don't know until you really watch a good tennis match, how beautiful it really is.
Yeah.
You gotta really watch it to understand it, to love it. And I've been loving it for a lot of years now.
Me too, man. Me too.
I can't stop.
Yeah, I'm right with you, man. And let's talk about something that we can't stop on, both of us. Now we got the Olympics coming up, and it's right around the corner. And we've been watching the American basketball team that they put together play, and that team is kind of newly formed. Kevin Durant's the leader. You got Dame Lillard, you got Tatum, etc. on the squad, and we saw that they took a loss to Nigeria. They took a loss at which let me back that up. They lost to Nigeria, who they beat. I believe it was the other Olympic cycle. They beat them by 80 points. 80 points.
Wow.
So they came back, and Nigeria beat them. Australia beat them, and it looks like they're kind of righting the ship now. But I want to ask you, Big Pick, because we're going into the Olympics. I want to throw a couple of these sports at you, and I want you to give me your opinion on it. But let's start with basketball, man. Do you think this men's basketball team will take the gold?
I do. I think they're just right now they're just kind of thrown together at last minute. Durant is basically just left the playoffs with the Nets. So he doesn't have really much time with Dame Lillard and those guys. So it's a lot of guys just kind of get acclimated. But I think these coming weeks, or like a week and a half that they'll have at least to get ready for the Olympics, Popovich, he'll have them ready. They'll be back into the big game when it's all said and done. But it's not going to be an easy route, because it's not like it used to be. It's not. Nobody's looking for an autograph no more. No, they trying to win just like you trying to win. And back then, in '92, 96, they had autograph seekers.
They did.
Now we got people like Luka trying to get MVP awards. So,
yeah, man.
So that's a big change. But I think they'll pull it off. What do you think about our team? What do you think about our chances?
Number one, I think that the writing is on the wall. Like, when you lose to teams like this, no matter what, like, you got to think about it. 1992 Dream Team. Like you said, they was chasing autographs back then, right? But them cats didn't take no L's, man. They didn't take no L's. I think the Redeem team, they wasn't taking no L's like this. Like, for them to take L's this early is a sign to me that they might not even be on the medal stand. They might not even make it up to the medal stand, man. I ain't even gonna lie. I see them taking third, or not even making it at all. I just don't see it. I don't see it from like you said, you got those Lukas out there. You got other NBA players. Think about it. Giannis is not playing, but he's a foreign player. You got Luka, foreign player. Got Djokovic, foreign player. You got Embiid, foreign player.
Wow.
So you got a lot of the great NBA players right now that ain't from our block. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of people in the middle that we don't have people in the middle, man. So you're playing Olympic style basketball. We don't have nobody in the middle, and this team isn't cohesive like other teams are. Some of these other teams have been playing together for a long time, and we know that you can go get an all-star squad of people to play, but if they're not a good team, they can get beat by players that aren't as good as them. That could happen. So I just don't see it happening. I think that they're going to take a L. It's not, and it's not a slight to them. It's not to say like Kevin Durant isn't as good as LeBron, or he's not great like Jordan was because they lose. It's just that the world has gotten better.
And I think, I think it's different leadership. You know, a lot of those teams, they have leaders. I don't know. I know everybody know Kevin Durant is a talent, but is he a leader? Is he an outspoken leader? Is he, you know what I mean? Can he run a team like leader? You know what I mean? Who is the point guards that's gonna run the Olympic team that we have right now?
Right.
So I think this will be. I still think they can pull it off from coaching, Popovich coaching, but hey, it can go really the other way. It could easily go the other way too.
Yeah, it could.
If you're losing an exhibition, either the team, like you said, the teams that got better, or you guys aren't taking it as serious as other Olympic teams that took it. And that could easily get you hit over the head.
But man, with a brick. With a brick. You out there thinking you're gonna go up there and pick up some of that gold. You know, you're like, man, that gold medal look good. But man, people fight for those medals now, man. You got these other countries, they have been studying us for a long time in the way that we play. And we have kind of drifted over to the Euro style play anyway. Like I remember we used to watch way back in the day when the key was much bigger. The big men could shoot on from the European teams when we played in the Olympics. So it was weird watching them. It's like, man, the key is big, so they don't promote like post play. The big men are coming outside the key, shooting from distance. It was a weird game. But now the NBA has adopted the Euro game. So we kind of folded over into what they do best in the Olympics. So we're paying for that now. And I think we're going to pay for it by not standing on that podium. I think it's a wrap. I think we're going to have to send our best, the best of our best, not just, some NBA players, but we're going to have to send the Stephs and LeBrons and the Hardens and the KDs all the time. Are we going to come back with a missing tooth because we're going to get punched in the mouth? Like that? Hey, but did you know that this is I'm looking at these weird sports. I wanted to bring them up to you to see what you thought. But this isn't weird, but I just wondered if you knew that they're going to have 3-on-3 basketball at the Olympics.
Oh, I didn't know. No, that's the
half
first
court.
I heard of that.
Half court, 3-on-3.
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 So I wonder how was that chosen? How did they choose the teams from different countries?
Yeah, said it's gonna be like 8 men's teams and 8 women's teams that are playing. They're gonna have a 12-second shot clock, and I think they're gonna play to 21. So it's like a game of 21, 3-on-3, half court.
Oh wow,
that's crazy, right?
yeah. I'm gonna be real interested to see who is on these teams. To see. That is crazy, because that's gonna change a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man, that's cool. They can be able to walk away with the gold. That would be cool, man. It's like if the top players were playing 3-on-3.
Yes.
Just to see who can come out with it. You know what I mean? The big three. Cube might be behind this, man.
Man. That would be, oh man, yeah, I'm excited to see that. Matter of fact,
yeah,
the Olympics start on the 23rd, July 23rd. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm ready to see that, man. I'm ready to see that. Yeah. So they got these other little sports too, man. I know here and there we're gonna be watching boxing. Boxing is different in the Olympics. It's the point system. How many times they score differently than they score real prize fighting. By the time that you get hit in certain areas, your head and chest area. So they got this button, the judges got this button on the side of the ring where they hit the button every time you make contact with your opponent. So that's kind of how they judge boxing. So I'll be watching a little bit of boxing. I'm not like a real big amateur boxing fan, but I wanted to ask you, man, some of the sports that we consider weird. I want to know, man, you can tell me too. You know what I'm saying? We partners. So do you ever watch like the artistic gymnastics, the synchronized swimming, any of those kind of sports, man, where it's kind of like, hey, man, this is not really the move right here. This is more like a women watch this more than men, like rhythmic gymnastics. Do you ever watch that stuff, man?
I mean, I have in the past. I've watched synchronized swimming before because it's just watching their routines and all of them different people in sync at once. I like watching stuff like that.
Okay.
So I can admit I've caught one or two. Maybe three. But
all right.
Synchronized swimming. You've indulged in some synchronized swimming?
Man, I be watching all that stuff, man. I ain't even gonna lie. I think anything that I can't do, I have respect for people that can do it from a athletic standpoint, man. Like those girls, they go out into those pools, man. And I don't understand how they do it because I can go in 3 feet. I can go out to the pool right now, 3 feet of water and damn near drown. I don't know how they jump in the water all together with lipstick on and smiling. They got the little clothespins on their teeth, on their nose. You know what I'm saying? They jump in the water, man, and the music is on, and you see them underwater like scrambling, and then the music comes on, and all the legs come up at the same time. Boop! I'm like, damn, how they do that? And then you see them turn around, pop up out the water, like somebody's under the water, like pushing them up out of the pool. And they all just like come 3 feet out of the water, smiling, doing cheerleader moves without drowning. I'm like, dude, man, please. If anybody out there has ever seen me swim, I'm like one of those people who, no matter what, like you could put me in 3 feet, you could put me in 8 feet. I'm not going any deeper than that, but you could put me in 3 or 8 feet and your boy is going to sink to the bottom every time. No matter how still I am, no matter how relaxed I am, my body just sinks straight to the bottom of the pool, man. So it's hard for me to even stay afloat. So when I see those girls doing that, man, and they're smiling doing it, and nobody needs a lifeguard to come out there and you know what I mean, give them mouth to mouth or nothing, I'm impressed. I'm impressed, man. So I do watch it, and I'm gonna be watching it because there ain't nothing else to do. So I'm gonna turn the TV on, man. But I got a question for you because you got expertise at this, and I don't have any expertise at this, so I'm not even gonna speak on it. But I'm gonna ask you because I know you a G. Now, there's gonna be Taekwondo at the Olympics. Tell me, like, what I should be looking for when I'm watching Taekwondo, these tournaments, because I know you highly involved in Taekwondo.
So, first of all, mainly the back round kick. It's usually a round kick that catches people off guard. It catches people off guard. A lot of times you're leaning forward and you're so focused on that front kick coming towards your chest and head that they rarely available or really ready for that back kick. That back kick and that round kick is a killer. It's a killer. That's a 3-point kick.
So explain the points. How does the points work? You got to like kick them in an area that's open, or you got to knock them down? How does all that work? So
from your chest to your waist, it's pretty much like a 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
And then surround, like your shoulders is like 2, but your head is 3.
Oh, damn.
Head faces, those are 3-pointers. And a knockdown is definitely a 3-pointer. And a round kick to the head will be a 3-pointer. All facial stuff is 3 points. Chest, side, stomach, those are 1 points. And usually they have a kind of like they wear a vest where your lights has a sensor. It has a sensor that hits to the judges.
Oh, okay.
Every time you kick somebody, a sensor will go off.
Lost you for a second. So the sensor goes off when you kick them, kind of like some laser tag shit.
Yeah. So the footing that you wear has a sensor that goes to your chest, that goes to your chest protector, and it will go off. Every time you kick a certain spot, that sensor will go off, and you will get a point. And when you get kicked in the head, you will see it, and the sensor will go off because you'll be kicking the headgear. The sensor will go off, and you'll get your 3 points.
Oh damn!
So that's how you get. Yeah. So even though it might look like to me or you that somebody's getting kicked, if that sensor is not going off, that point is not getting marked. It's not getting marked as a point.
Man, I can see where that could be. I see where that could be good or bad. If your technology's not working, I'd be mad as hell.
Right. So I've been in tournaments where it looked like one guy was winning, but he wasn't. His sensors wasn't going off, and so all the kicking he was doing, it was either getting blocked a little bit, or the sensor, his heel might hit the chest, but the sensor part might hit the wrist.
Dang.
So he's not getting a point.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. What about getting dumped? Can you grab somebody and slam them on the ground? You get points for that? You get extra points for that?
No, you can't grab them. You can't kick behind the head. You can't grab them. You can, you kind of get them off of you. You kind of push them off of you, but you can't take them to the ground. No.
Oh, damn. So it's all feet.
It's pretty much all feet and hands.
Oh, okay. So you can punch too.
You can punch too.
Okay.
You can punch too to keep them away, to keep a person off of you. But a lot of people use the front kick and the front kick, side kick, and like I said, back kick and round kick is the killers.
All right, man. You taught me something on that, man, because I see it, and I know that the martial arts are, depending on which country they derive from, or originate from, I should say, that you got different techniques, etc. But I don't know much about Taekwondo. We grew up watching martial arts, and you see a lot of this stuff with UFC. But when it comes to the Olympics and the tournament style fighting, that's something that I'm game goofy on. I don't know anything about it. So I'm glad you put us up on that, man. And that kind of slides us into like another event that they do there. I'm not sure if you watched this, but did you watch the wrestling at all?
No, you know what? I haven't. No, I haven't. I haven't watched wrestling in years. I think I can't even tell you the last time I watched a wrestling match. I remember a long time ago when Iowa and Iowa State, when they were the top wrestling teams in the country, and I can't remember. It was a brother. It's been so long. It was a brother one time that had made it to the Olympics, and I had chimed in, but I haven't watched it in a long time.
Me neither. I think I watched. Might have been that same dude you talking about. He's a heavyweight dude. Years and years ago, I watched, but wrestling makes me upset, man. Every time I watch wrestling, I just feel like somebody need to come in and break it up and just let them kick and fight. You know what I mean? Like throw hands. Like wrestling is one of those things. But I do know this from school. Like if you ever get in a fight with a wrestler, you better pray, because you get on that ground, boy, you ain't getting up. So that's
yeah, because it looks like nothing, but it's still an art form to it,
It is.
It's still an art form to wrestling, and if you, like you said, if you get down there and you don't know what you're doing, it could be all curtains.
Curtains. get your fingers bent up, your elbow twisted off. Just how you coming up out of there like a Ken doll, just parts all tore off. It's a cold game. It's a cold game, man. I know you're gonna be watching beach volleyball for obvious reasons. We'll be watching that. You know, I like a little beach volleyball here and there. Then we got our I didn't realize they had karate too. Damn, karate, judo, and taekwondo. Man, that's a lot. I think they should let them all lock up on each other. Like you got the judo, karate, and taekwondo. I just realized that was a thing, man. I didn't realize that. I felt like I've seen judo before, and I know that Ronda Rousey's mama was like a judo champion and all of that. That's the only thing I knew. But I didn't realize they were all at the Olympics at the same time. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of exciting things when you really look at the Olympics in a whole. I don't know if it's me getting older or whatever, but as I look at it as a whole, man, I appreciate the Olympics more and more as I just see all the hard work, all the stuff, all these different athletes do, you know, all the crafts, man, and that's gonna make me watch the karate and the jiu-jitsus and the taekwondos. By me going to taekwondo and watching taekwondo all these years and watching first degree, second degree, third degree black belts fight. I had a guy that was a fourth degree at my house last weekend, and just watching all that different art forms, man, and just makes me appreciate it, man. It makes me want to watch the Olympics, man. These people train for 4 years, man, to get to this point.
5 this time.
5. Oh yes, I forgot 5. 5 to get to this point, man, and to get there and get to achieve that gold medal. It's already tough enough to get there, man. You had to beat so many people to get where you were at. You're one. I mean, you're talking about a percentage. You're talking about how small of a percent that is of you getting there. You even getting there. And if you get the goal, man, that's a small percent of so many athletes that you had to get and beat, and all that training and hard work that you had to do, and the focus, more than anything, the focus. You had to be focused for 4 or 5 years. 5 years you had to be focused on this one major goal. 5 years. That's a long time.
It is
hard for me, man, to focus for 5 hours straight. I'm talking about 5 years.
5 years, you know, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, I can't do nothing but appreciate it, man, so much.
Me too, man. You know? I didn't realize I like the cycling. I like they're doing climbing. I didn't even know they did golf in the Olympics. I know they're doing baseball, and in 2024 they're doing breakdancing. Now that one, I don't know, man.
I'm not. You know, I'm sorry. I'm not with that one. I'm sorry.
Hey, you guys see out there, we can talk about all this rhythmic gymnastics and synchronized swimming, but when you say break dancing is an event, me and the Big Pig both say, man, nah, man. Tell us why, Big Pig.
No, man, that's dancing. It is an art form. I'm not gonna take nothing away from those guys, but breakdancing, I think, is more kind of like an oxymoron that you're just trying to throw something in there to get some kind of try not to say some kind of hip hop, but some kind of cultural thing in there that we don't need. It's not nothing that you just, I wouldn't say that you practice for 4 years like these guys. These guys, blood, sweat, and tears. You know, these other sports. These are sports. These are man, hardworking people for. I just don't see breakdancing as the same, as the same as a track runner, as the same as a boxer, as the same as as a rhythmic swimmer, or just a regular swimmer, or a diver. I mean, it just you don't have you're not gonna have like a million breakdance teams that you got to get by, or breakdancing in where where you got breakdancing in all these different countries. That I just I don't think it's necessary. You know, leave it the way it is. You don't have to change the Olympics. The Olympics is one thing that people look forward to, man, every 4 years. We have 5 now, but I think leave it the way it is. Don't mess it up. Don't change it.
Man, I hear you, man. I think I got a different reason for not wanting breakdancing there. And it's not necessarily because I don't think that they're athletes, because I think they are like tremendous athletes. Different kind of athletes, but if I'm gonna call a golfer an athlete, or a sailor an athlete, I'm gonna go ahead and call a breakdancer an athlete. My problem with it is that who is judging this? Like, who's gonna judge breakdancing? Like, breakdancing was a feeling. You know what I mean? It was more of a feeling than anything. I don't care how many times you spin around. I don't care how many helicopters you hit. I don't care how you can stop, how you grab somebody's hat before you stop your spin and pose. It was a feeling, man. It was like if you try to judge a capping contest. Like if I'm talking shit about you and you talking shit about me, and then you put judges there and say, okay, so who wins? You know, it's like, man, you got to be there in order to understand the feeling that it gives. So I feel like they're going to put some dudes in some suits on the sideline and start to technically break down breakdancing and just kill it. Just totally just kill the whole feeling. And the music probably going to be whack. The people that are watching it probably don't know what the hell they're looking at. This was a street thing. You know what I'm saying? Like judging rapping, like some dudes from all over the country in suits judging a rapping contest. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's just off, man. But I guess if they gonna work their hearts out to make it to the 2024 Olympics in Paris and they're break dancers, that's fine. But I just feel like they're gonna mess it up because they're gonna try to judge it on some technical aspects that nobody in the streets ever felt. Like in the streets, it was like if you did it on somebody, you made them look stupid, you killed them in front of their crew, it was a wrap. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, I won. But then you have a judge come in like, no, actually, you didn't win. The other guy did 3 windmills and he stopped on a dime. You know, I don't want to hear all that. So it's going to be a weird thing, man. But they're adding that. They're adding skateboarding. They're adding surfing. So they're bringing some new stuff to try to get new eyeballs to the screen. Because like you said, it is a money thing, man. It's like if you can add these other little individual sports, you get more people looking, you sell more items via the commercials. And that's what the networks is looking for. And I think that's probably why they added it. So I'm looking forward to the Olympics. It's going to be a cool ride. Give us a month and something of good entertainment. And then after that's all said and done, we'll see what happens on the track. And hopefully our girl Sha'Carri, who we didn't get to talk about the last time because of her situation with marijuana, we didn't get a chance to talk about that on any of our previous shows, but she'll be running after the Olympics and not in the Olympics because of what happened to her off the track. So what do you think about the Sha'Carri Richardson suspension due to her consumption of some marijuana?
I mean, I think a rule is a rule, man. If you're gonna suspend her, she need to be suspended. It like you say, everybody works hard to get there. 4 years. We can't just take an exception because somebody said, well, I just want to smoke some weed this one time, or I'm getting depressed, or because of this or that. I mean, and everybody has stuff that they go through in life, but this might be your one-time opportunity. You know, this might be your one-time opportunity. That's just like somebody tell you, if you got some goal, or if you got $12 million, and all you got to do is do this one thing for 4 years. We just need you to be focused for 4 years. And you said, you know, at the end of it's almost 4 years, you're almost there, and you say, you know what? Hey, I think I'm gonna get there. So let me go on and break this rule. And they say, hey man, you just messed it up. You just threw away your whole $12 million. You say, well, I just broke this one rule. Hey, but we told you ahead of time. You break this one rule, and that's it. Now, I do believe she should have still, if they was only going to suspend her for 30 days, she should have still been able to be there and run the relay. She is the fastest girl there. She was the fastest girl on the team. If nothing else, you have alternates at the Olympics. You're gonna have alternates. So if she messes up, you will have an alternate. She should have been on the team still. That's unfair to try to blackball her like that. And now she has to wait, I guess, another 3 years or so to 2024. And man, you never know what's gonna happen in 3 years. She could have kids, family, marriage, and all that changes your life and body and your focus. So it's sad because she could have changed probably her whole family's lifestyle. I don't even know what's their lifestyle right now, what's their background, but she probably could have helped her family in some ways that, you know, she can't.
Right. Yeah.
So that's pretty much what I think about that. You know, feel sorry for the kid that she even did that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm a little torn on it too, because like you said, man, unfortunately, you can't make exceptions for people in track. Track is one of those sports, for those of you that may have not ever run before or run at a higher level. But track is one of those sports, man, where everything that goes into your body has to be accounted for. And I know it's hypocritical because we're in a society that you got liquor stores on every corner. And right now you got cannabis stores damn near on every corner. So it's kind of hypocritical. However, track is one of those sports where they talk to you right from the beginning and they tell you, especially on the level that Sha'Carri is on, that whatever you put in your body, I don't care if it's over-the-counter cough syrup. If you got a cold, you need to go to the team doctor to talk to them to make sure that once that whatever you ingest in your body metabolizes, it doesn't turn into something that looks like you're cheating. So oftentimes people will say they ate some meat that has steroids in it, and then that comes out in their test. Or they'll take a bunch of creatine to kind of mask things that they've been trying to hide in their body. I'm not saying Sha'Carri was trying to hide anything. I'm not saying she was on steroids. I give her credit for fessing up to it because it looks like she just accepted it. Like, yeah, I did it. I smoked some weed. I had a lot of pressure on me. My mom just died. So I felt for the girl because of the situation that was happening in her life. The timing, you know, she didn't have any control over the timing of when her mother died. So, you know, hence she went and did what she did right at the most important part of her life, where she could have made some money that would have changed her whole family's outlook on life. I don't know where their pockets are now, but I know they would be better if she would have gone to the Olympics. Now, We are in a different world. When I say it, what I mean by that is that even though she didn't make it to the Olympics, after the Olympics conclude, I'm sure she's going to jump in some races, and she's got a lot of support from the people who are going to be willing to put her in commercials and put her on TV. And who knows, she might be sponsored by a marijuana dispensary out there that has a lot of money behind them. So I don't think she's going to lose a whole bunch of money. But as a former track athlete, there are things that you never forget in your whole life when it comes to this kind of competitions. She's never going to forget that she wasn't able to run in the Olympics because of a mistake that she made. It was a mistake that we'll probably look back on in the next 4 years, and they'll probably have marijuana as a substance that's not banned, because everybody knows if you smoke some weed right now and you try to go out there and run, you ain't going to get too far. You're not going to be at your peak running with marijuana in your system. So they're going to look back on this in 4 years, 8 years and say, man, what the hell was they tripping off of? Do they test them for alcohol? You know what I mean? Like you drink alcohol and 2-3 days before a track meet, maybe after the track meet, and they're not tripping off of that, but they're going to trip off some weed. So I'm torn on it. I think she knew what she was doing. So I got to say that. Now you got to take responsibility for everybody out there that, you know, that has said that, oh man, that's messed up. Sha'Carri knew, you know what I mean? And you can tell the way that she kind of took it and came on TV and explained the situation, that she knew what she was doing. She told you why she did it. And unfortunately, you know, there's suspensions that come with that, you know, and it would have been better if it would have been like, oh man, she had COVID and you didn't know that she messed up in that kind of way, because smoking weed is kind of, it sounded like self-sabotage. You knew you shouldn't do that. So they didn't cover for her. She took it. She stood up, and, you know, hopefully she'll learn from it and she'll be able to compete in the Paris 2024 Olympics and, you know, and redeem herself. But it's unfortunate that it happened. So I'm looking forward to seeing the track. I know you are too. Like I said before, that I think that Gabby Thomas and I think Cindy McLaughlin are going to be the stars of the meet. And I see them doing big things. Now, Big Pick, I wanted to end this, man, with giving you, I want to get your opinion on some of the, these are some of the old and weirdest Olympic sports of all time. So I got 10 of them that I want to read to you, and I want to see what your thoughts are, man. So one of the oldest Olympic events, I mean, I'm talking about 1900 up, was rope climbing. So they got a big tower and they put a rope down, just kind of like you seen at the like a fair or something, and you climb up the rope, and who can climb up the fastest. And I think it looks like it was probably like 50 feet in the air, and whoever could climb up the fastest would win. What you think about that? You think you could do that? I can see you doing that. I think you can do it, man. Get off that hen, man, and jump up there and climb up that rope, man. I've seen you hit some fences before back in the day.
I can hit a couple of fences, but 50 feet up in the air. Oh man.
Oh, you wouldn't do it.
You know what? For a gold medal, yeah, I'll do it. Hey, for a gold medal, I'd do it. Shoot. But that is crazy. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, 50 feet in the air. They did it in 1896, 1906, 24, and 32. And the rule was that you could climb up the rope, but your legs could not be allowed. You can't use your legs. You got to use all arms going up 50 feet.
Man, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
50 feet might not sound like much. 50 feet is high.
Hell yeah.
To be climbing, you know.
To be falling.
Oh, definitely to be falling. Definitely. Woo, man.
You'll bust your shit at 50 feet.
50 feet. You talking about all arms, man. That how your arms stinging for weeks.
For weeks, man. And and then your hands be calloused up. Rub your hands together and start a fire.
I remember people couldn't climb a pole at the playground one time. I can just imagine somebody trying to climb 50 feet.
50 feet, no legs. Don't get tired to try to use your legs and scoot up. No, all arms. It's all arms. Man.
Crazy.
Man, then they had live pigeon shooting. You know how they do skeet shooting now? They throw those little skeets out there and they shoot them.
Yes.
1900 in Paris Games, they had live pigeon shooting. So they had cages with pigeons in it. They release them into the air, 300 birds, and then you see how many you can knock down.
Wow, that's man. Boy, you sure couldn't do that nowadays. Boy, ooh.
Man, Peter
would be on your tail.
Peter would be on your tail. They would be on your tail unless you had people running up under the birds with plates and just throw them straight in the oven and cook them. You got to eat them. You know what I'm saying? If you knock something down, you got to eat them nowadays. But back in the day, they would just do it for sport. Just let the pigeons loose and knock them out the sky. They didn't care in 1900, man.
Man, that's crazy. Boy, they really didn't change the Olympics.
But they got this other one, man. You know this one. You know this sport. This is a weird one. And they still do this one, but race walking. Do you ever watch that?
You know what? I can't get into that one. I'm sorry. I know I got on the channel and and it came up and I might have watched one time around and that was it, man. I don't understand it.
Man, who made that shit up, man? Like, who? You see everybody out here running, but you want to make up a rule where your feet got to be, both of them have to be on the ground at the same time. You got to walk.
Right. Race walking.
Like, man.
So you train 4 years to race walk?
Don't run, walk.
Don't run, you just race walk.
Yeah, walk as fast as you can for like 20 kilometers. What is it, like damn near 10 miles? We want you to walk as fast as you can. Like, man, what are you talking about, man? Like, why would I walk when I could just run? Like, that's some stupid ass shit, man. That's one of those things I turn. So when I see that come on the track, because usually they'll be doing other track events while that's going on, and then they'll just show the camera on the person who's in first and second. Oh yeah, this dude is walking hella fast. Oh, but the guy behind him, oh, he's walking hella fast too. Oh man, look at them. Look at their hips.
Man, my cat, even just watching it for a minute, make my calves just locked up.
Man, you know the heels be hurting, the legs chafed up.
Man,
hell no, I couldn't do that with, man. But they got one that they used to do back in the day that I wouldn't mind seeing this one, man. The tug of war.
Oh yeah. They could bring that one back.
Man, I used to love the tug of war. That was like some of my favorite shit in elementary school, the tug of war.
Oh yeah, I like to see that come back. That's for real. It'd be a lot of people. I think it'd be a lot of people really watching it too nowadays.
Hell yeah, they would. Everybody loved the tug of war, man. My favorite move with the tug of war. Remember when you
tied the rope around your hips?
Nah, well, that one was a move, but I'm saying you had the rope around your hips and all of that, but I'm on the other side. So let's say your squad, you got the rope around your hips right now, Big Pick, and then your team is like pulling hard as they can. My team is over there pulling, and you guys are kind of winning a little bit. And then me and my team, we do the secret count to 3. 1, 2, and let go of the rope, and y'all all fall the fuck down. I used to love that move, man. I be like, oh man, that's the best move ever in tug of war. I used to love that, man.
He said, that's the best move. Let y'all fall down.
Yeah, man, that's the fun part about tug of war. But no, tug of war was cool, man. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Then they had hot air ballooning. They had the horse long jump. So
What the heck?
yeah, so a dude would be on the back of a horse, and the horse would jump as far as they could with the dude on his back.
Oh man, that sounds crazy as heck.
That sounds crazy, man.
Man.
Hey, did you see that that tweet I sent you with the long jumper today? 19-year-old dude, long jumper.
Today, no.
Man, this dude jumped 28, 11.
28-11 and 19 years old?
19 years old, 28-11. The furthest jump ever produced in any conditions since 1995. The dude jumped 28-11. Speaking of long jumps, that dude went 28-11. Look, tall dude, got speed, obviously got hops, damn near jumped out of the pit. Like literally damn near jumped out of the pit.
After this, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh, I'm 28-11. Levitation. I mean, levitating in the air, man. That's crazy. But I sent it to you. But then the last one, man, they had some of your favorite stuff. Solo synchronized swimming.
Solo?
Yeah, solo. They said the synchronized part was that they were synchronized to the music. Like one person would go out there, basically be out there pop locking and shit in the water.
Wow. Solo synchronized swimming.
Solo.
Man.
Hey, but I didn't know they did this though in 84, 88, and 92.
Wait. So this is not too long ago.
Right. This is recent, man. It was recent. 84, 88, 92. And then they started just doing it with all teams.
Wow, we watched those Olympics too. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember it, man, but something I got to go check on, man, because I'm like, I want to see somebody pop lock it, man, and breaking in the water. I want to see that. They doing this to the music.
Yeah, that's kind of like something I want to go back and see because, I thought you were just throwing me off. I thought that was something way back, you know.
Nah.
You talking about something in my time that I could have watched my own self. I gotta see what that's like. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, you got to go check that out, man. And peep. Hey, but also I want you to peep this too, man, because I remember last time we were talking about Simone Biles and her being the GOAT of women, you know, gymnastics, of course. You know, Simone's out there doing her thing. But man, that made me go and Google some of the old school gymnasts, the women.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Dominique Dawes?
No, not even Dominique Dawes. I'm talking about Comaneci. I'm talking about going back to like Comaneci, man, going way back. Yes. and peeping them, man. I was like, damn, I forgot they took some elements out of women's gymnastics that I forgot about. Like they used to do giants. They used to like swing with one hand, not two, but one, and release with one hand. And then they would go up on the top bar on the uneven parallel bars. They would go to the top bar, and then they would flip off the top of that bar for their dismount. So they would stop up on the top bar, jump off of it backwards. I was like, so they eliminated these, man, because some girls got paralyzed and all that. But man, just going back, man, just go like Nadia Comaneci, go and check out. Like I'm gonna send it to you though. It's some of the banned moves from women's gymnastics, and I got a whole different kind of perspective on them, man. Because I was kind of just like, man, nobody is even close no more to what these girls are doing now. I look back, man, I was like, damn, they even on like the balance beam, man, they were actually up there. Like now it's like real, like matter of fact. They like do their move, like one move, boom, do a flip. Then they do like a front flip, boom. But back then they were like dancing on the bar, like literally like dancing on the bar. They do less flipping, but they be doing a whole bunch of footwork up on the balance beam. And on even parallel bars, man, like I said, they doing one hand swings. They're doing jumping like I'm talking about that top bar. They're flipping off of that and sticking dismounts. That shit was crazy, man. I gave him more credit than I was giving him, man, because I was just all of a sudden just like, man, that old shit, it's the past. But I'm gonna send you something and you're gonna be like, damn, these girls is like, they should be in the X Games.
So you got, yes. Matter of fact, yeah. You send that to me. I'm gonna send that to my email so I can look at that on the computer.
Yeah, you gotta peep that, man. I ain't gonna lie. And then I was watching some other little girl. I forgot her name. I think it's like Olga Corbett, or I can't remember her name, man. But it was like just a little Russian girl, man, and she was like hella good. But she did one of those moves I was talking about, and then she ended up like breaking her leg doing one of the moves, and the Eastern European, I think it was Russia, they wanted her to be in the Olympics bad. So back, over there they don't play. They want that gold. They want that prestige that comes with winning the Olympics. So they forced her back to, even with her leg being messed up, they forced her back into action.
No way.
Yeah, they forced her back into action. But here's the thing. So she was training for the Olympics because I think she only had like a month and a half before the Olympics kicked in. And she was, I got to find that girl's name so people can look this up. But she was training for the Olympics. And during her training, she was trying this incredible move that would have definitely like won her the gold. She would have got up on the podium. You know what I'm saying? So she tried this move, wasn't ready, had gained a little weight, and was trying to work her way back into shape and snapped her spinal cord.
Oh my God.
So that's why they got some of these moves that are forbidden, man, because this girl snapped her spinal cord and was in a wheelchair, man.
Oh my God.
And she was like a young girl, man, probably like 17, 18. She lived to about 47, 48. So she had to spend a lot of time in a wheelchair, man. So, man, crazy. But I'm gonna send that to you though, man. Let me find her name real quick, because I think people would want to look her up and see how raw she was. I give Simone, you know what I mean? Definitely give her her props. But damn, when I look this up, it just show a whole bunch of girls getting tore up. That's a tough sport, man. That's a tough sport. Let me see. Okay, so her name, I found it. Her name is Elena Mukina. And on July 3rd, 1980, and that's the Olympics that we boycotted as a country. 2 weeks before the Olympics in Moscow, Mukina was practicing a pass containing the Thomas Salto. Now, Thomas Salto was like a tumbling pass. And she under-rotated on the salto and crash landed on her chin, which snapped her spine.
Damn.
Leaving her quadriplegic.
Oh my God.
So that shit ain't no joke, man. So these girls be putting it on the line, man. They look like they're all dainty. And I know we were talking about like the rhythmic gymnastics and we were kind of making fun a little bit, but man, these girls are putting it on the line, and even more so back in the day, because her country put her in harm's way, man. She wasn't even ready. Went out there, landed on her chin, and snapped her spine. Whew. Crazy.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Hate to end on a bad note, but we're gonna have people look that up. Look up Elena Mukina, and also for you guys out there that won't be part of this Google search that I'm sending over to Big Pick, look up like band gymnastic moves, and you'll see some of those moves that I'm talking about that me and Big Pick grew up on. He probably forgot that these elements weren't there no more, but when I send them to him, he's gonna be like, damn, I forgot they used to do that. So amazing stuff, man. But it was a pleasure working with you today, Big Pick. You know how we do.
It's always a pleasure, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm the King, Dray, Mack.
And I'm the Big Pick.
Peace.
Peace.
Tell the truth, nothing but the truth. So help you guys say what you want to say. Don't be a fraud. King Dray, Big Pick, man. Against the odds, players play from May to May. Check out the pod. King Dray, Mack, and Big Pick. King Dray Mack and Big Pig. King Dray Mack and Big Pig. King Dray Mack and Big Pig.